Welcome to the podcast where we unravel stories hidden in the dark. Tonight we've got The Night Janitor. It's a mystery wrapped in suspense, drama, and a whole lot of hidden truths at a college that never truly sleeps.
I'm really intrigued. A janitor who sees it all? That sounds like a modern detective story.
Yeah, exactly. Eddie Morales isn't your ordinary custodian. He's been on the job for 8 years at Hargrove College and, well, he notices every sound and every secret this place tries to hide.
Right.
The narrative immediately pulls you in with this low key, almost noir vibe, especially with that low jazz rhythm and rain ambience in the intro.
And that opening narration, the way Eddie introduces himself, it feels like we're invited into a world of quiet halls that are anything but quiet at night.
Exactly. The story kicks off in the chemistry building at 2:07 a.m., right? The way the script uses sound effects, floor buffers humming, thunder outside, and that creepy fluorescent flicker, it really sets the stage for something ominous. And
Yup.
then that moment with Professor Klein's office, things just get wild when Eddie notices a broken coffee mug with blood.
Wow, that detail is so vivid. I mean, who expects to find um, evidence like a coffee mug with blood under a desk? It's a small detail that speaks volumes about what's really happening behind the scenes.
Exactly. It's like a clue that not only signals violence but also hints at uh, a massive cover up. And then we jump to the campus security office with Tucker. Tucker's dialogue is interesting. On the surface, he minimizes the situation with bad coffee, but then drops hints about Professor Klein's planned exit. His casual dismissal is disturbing when you think about how the administration might be involved.
Mm-hmm. Right, and that contrast between Eddie's careful observation and Tucker's bureaucratic attitude really amplifies the tension. It's like one sees the mess and the truth, and the other just wants to keep everything neat on paper.
True. Then we move into Klein's office the next night. Eddie sneaks back in using keys that seem to multiply with time. The description is so rich, papers scattered, drawers wide open, you can feel the atmosphere of betrayal building
Yeah?
up. And that's when he finds the notes about this trial Epsilon.
Oh, Trial Epsilon, right. That's the drug test run through Arcadine Pharmaceuticals. It cleverly ties in the theme of corporate and academic corruption. Eddie stumbles on evidence that shows the college is funding unethical experiments.
Absolutely. And it gets even juicier when we meet Layla Chen. She's a student working on a paper, and get this, she teams up with Eddie. They both decide to expose Professor Klein's findings about how Arkadine faked results by using student volunteers without their consent.
Right on. It's refreshing to see that kind of unexpected alliance, the night janitor and the determined student coming together. It reminds me a bit of classic detective films where the underdog unites with someone who has insider access.
Exactly. And then the plot thickens in the labs at midnight. There's this powerful moment when Layla points out that compound 47B, which is supposed to repair tissue but can kill in high doses, has vanished from the
Mm-hmm, that's a big
chemical
red flag.
inventory. It's like whoever used it, they knew exactly how to cover their tracks.
And the tension ramps up, right? Right around that moment when they overhear Dean Halbrook issuing orders to erase every record of Klein's research. It's a classic power move, suppressing dangerous information at all costs.
Yep, it's a blatant cover up. There's that scene where the dean's assistant mentions Eddie, as if he's just a janitor, unimportant in the grand scheme of things. But Eddie is exactly the one who notices the truth. It's so ironic that the person everyone assumes is invisible is the one who brings
Exactly.
everything to light.
I really appreciate how the story uses that irony. It's almost as if the underdog reflecting on his role says, "You clean up the mess and you live with the stain." That line really resonates.
Completely. And then, oh man, the tension skyrockets in the admin building. They break into the dean's office to uncover emails, payments, and bribery evidence. I mean, it's almost cinematic. rain pattering on the windows, stealthy footsteps, and the urgency of printing out documents.
Mm-hmm. Right. It really paints a picture of corruption running deep. And then Tucker, the security guard, ends up in a scuffle with Eddie. It's a bold moment where everything spirals.
Yeah, and here's where things start to feel like a race against time. Eddie's actions blur the lines between a custodian cleaning up spills and an accidental whistleblower trying to expose a powerful conspiracy.
Absolutely. And the final act in the boiler room, that PA announcement scene, is so impactful. Eddie broadcasts that Professor Klein didn't just vanish, he was murdered. It's a powerful stand against the choice to suppress the truth.
Exactly, it's reminiscent of those climactic moments in thrillers where the underdog breaks free and tells the truth to an unsuspecting audience. Eddie's declaration over the PA system just stuns the institution, and you get amplified tension with the feedback and alarms.
Yeah. I have to say, though, while Eddie's brave, there's some room to critique his method of cleaning up the mess. I mean, is it realistic that a janitor could orchestrate such a complicated expose without drawing immediate, overwhelming attention?
That's a fair point. I mean, it does rely on a bit of suspension of disbelief, but I think that's part of the dramatic license. The idea is to amplify the unexpected power of a seemingly insignificant person.
Right.
It's an intentional exaggeration to heighten the mystery and the stakes.
True. And it also comments on how sometimes the people we discount the most end up being the ones who see the truth lying right under our noses.
Absolutely. And then in the concluding scene at dawn, we get that reflective moment. Eddie sees that dark stain under Klein's office door. It's been scrubbed but never fully cleaned. That's like a metaphor for the lingering impact of corruption and the moral cost of truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that lingering stain is powerful. It gives the story this bittersweet flavor. Justice is served, but it leaves its mark on everyone involved. It's a visual reminder that some truths, once exposed, change you forever.
Exactly. The narrative structure, flows brilliantly from scene to scene. The eerie chemistry lab, the dismissive campus security, the secret-filled office, the dangerous dark corridors of the labs, and finally, the urgent climax in the admin and boiler room. Each scene layers tension with carefully chosen sound effects like the thunder, the hums, and even the feedback
Yeah, that really
squeals.
pulls you in. It definitely does. And the use of sound effects seems almost like a character in itself, setting mood and pace for Eddie's discoveries.
Exactly. It's like the ambience echoes his internal struggle and the relentless pursuit of justice. I loved how the episode interweaved practical details, like keys that multiply in his hand, or the subtle mention of cleaning on a literal and metaphorical level.
Yeah,
It blurs the boundaries between the physical world and the deeper layers of corruption.
and it's interesting how the script casts the janitor not just as an observer, but as an active combatant against the institution's rot. His move to broadcast over the PA system is like a modern day Robin Hood moment, where the least likely hero steps up.
Absolutely. And that scene in the boiler room is just a masterstroke. The tension, the imminent threat, and then his final escape into the rainy night with blue lights in pursuit. It brings home the idea that truth is dangerous, and sometimes cleaning up a mess means embracing the stain
Right.
instead.
You know, what really sticks with me is how the narrative challenges the notion of identity. Eddie is deemed invisible by others, yet it's exactly that invisibility that empowers him. It's like a paradox. What if the overlooked are the only ones who truly see what's wrong?
Yeah, it's a beautiful subversion of expectations. The story says, don't underestimate the people who work behind the scenes. And in this case, it's not just his job, it's his tenacity that ultimately cracks the case.
Mm-hmm. And that resonates deeply with anyone who's ever felt marginalized or taken for granted. It's a sort of, narrative empowerment.
Exactly. It's like when you think you've scrubbed away all the dirt, there's always that one stubborn stain that tells the real story. And sometimes those stains are what remind us of the cost of the truth.
Right. And it also critiques the power structures in academia and business, how money and influence can distort fairness and even justice. The dean's willing to erase a professor's work to protect his own interests speaks volumes.
For sure. And while some might argue that the plot stretches credulity a bit with Eddie's daring escapades, it's also a deliberate, artistic choice to mirror the murky moral landscape of institutions.
Yeah, yep, that risk of believability is sort of outweighed by the thematic impact. It forces you to ask, what would you do if the truth was right in front of you, but no one else cared?
Exactly. And that question is what makes The Night Janitor such an engaging piece. It's not just a mystery, it's a character study, an institutional critique, and a moral fable all rolled into one.
Mm-hmm. I must say it's been a wild ride discussing this. I get chills thinking about how every sound, every whispered conversation in those dark halls contributed to an intricate web of corruption and courage.
Absolutely. And even though the episode wraps up with a sense that the stains of the past can never truly be erased, it also gives us hope. Hope that sometimes the most unexpected heroes can shine light on the darkest corners.
Right. Well, that was a deep dive into a richly detailed narrative. Thanks for walking through it with me. It really makes you appreciate the layers behind each scene.
Anytime. And remember, even when you think no one sees your struggles, sometimes it's exactly that invisibility that lets you uncover the truth. Thanks for listening, folks. Keep your eyes open, even in the dark.